Hi everyone, it's me Spring, the fiber enthusiast, and welcome to the channel. So today is going to be a Temu review, and it's of some items that I have purchased. Over the next few review videos, I'm going to separate them out into 3 different videos and go over what each one is, and we'll test them out. So the first one that I'm going to go over with you is this Embellish Knit. What it does is it creates an I-cord. Now I paid $8.57 for this through Temu, and when you get it and open the box up, you receive the I-cord maker, you receive a weighted clip, and some very vague instructions on how to get started, and then also a couple of ideas and how to put them together. So what I did was I took a look at it to start with. Everything seemed to move correctly, and if I turn this at an angle, you can see those needles going up and down like that. Okay, so I read the instructions, and the instructions say to run your thread or yarn, lightweight yarn, up through this eye on the side, up over this little notch that's here, and catch your needle, every other needle, and we're gonna go ahead and do that. It is, let me find some yarn to do that with. Okay, so I've got some yarn. Now this is just some amigurumi yarn, so it's real lightweight. I'm gonna go ahead and do as it said to do, which was feed it up through, and I might need a needle to do that. You might have to use a needle to do this, but I got it. All right, so I've got it through the little eye on the side here, and in the center is a hole that goes all the way through to the other side. The next objective is to feed that through that hole and go all the way until it comes out the other end, like such. So now it's coming out the bottom, and at which point you're going to kind of want to hang on to it just so it doesn't disappear on you. And you're going to take this weighted clip and place it onto that yarn. What that does is it helps to pull that I-cord down through. Now that I've dropped it, now that I have it situated, it says to hook your first one, skip your second one. So we're going to go ahead and hook the first one. And on the side, it tells you to turn it clockwise. So that's the first one. I'm going to skip the second one. And now catch the third one. And then skip the fourth one. And this is what you have at this point. Now what you're going to do is continue working in the round slowly, and you're going to make sure that it goes below the lever. So these are essentially the ends of a latch hook, and you're going to want to make sure that the first strand goes under the latch and the second strand goes into the latch. So now I'm going to hook the next one and loosen up my tension a little bit here. I'm going to hook the following one. And sometimes you might just have to push down on the little loops inside so it drops below that latch. Give a little bit more tension. There we go. And if you look, you can see that strand at an angle there. I'm just going to reach in and pop it down. And now it's not at an angle anymore, just this upper strand. And you might have to do that frequently as you're working with it, especially to start with, to make sure that everything is dropping below where it's supposed to, below those little latches. And what that'll do is make your stitch. Just keep an eye on it as you're working through it. And this one seems to be doing good. Now I'm not holding a whole lot of tension on the yarn. I'm just letting it glide under my finger. And everything seems to be working just fine now. Everything is going below the latches like they're supposed to. And you can hear it and feel it as you're going around and watching it. Those strands, those stitches dropping below your latch. So now I can move a little bit faster. I see where everything is actually functioning properly. I'm just going to keep going until we get some I-cord popping out the bottom here. See where it's coming out the bottom, and now that weight is pulling on it to help it continue to pull down and not get jammed or wedged up in there. All right, we're moving right along now. Now, the one thing that I do not like about putting it through this little hole here is there's no way to remove it from that hole without cutting your yarn. So if it messed up, you would have to take it back out this way in order to undo the mistake and run the yarn back through, or cut it loose and discard what you have and start over again. So that would be, you know, operator optional as to whether or not you want to run it through that little hole on the side. That would be the only issue with it that I have found. Now, I did do a, or have done a little part in some very light worsted weight. This is just some that I picked up from the dollar store. And so this is an I-cord that I did testing it prior to. Now the stitches all look very consistent. It looks great. And things like this are really cool for making, you know, just fashion bracelets, chokers. You can do different style knots with these and create headbands. There's a lot of neat things that you can do with I-cord. I-cord is also great for making straps for purses or bags, backpacks, drawstring bags. A lot of different things you can use I-cord for. You can even sew them on as edging. It's very, very versatile. I've wanted one of these for a long time, but I've never been able to really see purchasing one at the more expensive price, because I could do it by crocheting an I-cord or knitting an I-cord. So for the sake of the channel and wanting to test this out, I went ahead and purchased this from Temu, and I must say that I'm happy with my purchase. And if you're looking for an inexpensive one that you're not going to be doing a lot, I wouldn't say this is something I would go and make a whole bunch of I-cord with. But if you're going to be using it for smaller projects and just need to make, you know, a couple of handles or something like that, this is definitely worth the $8.57. So that's my opinion on it, and here is the I-cord that I am currently making. All right, everyone. Thank you for tuning in for this review. I found it to be worth the money that I spent, and I hope that you enjoyed this review. Be blessed, be a blessing, and until next time, bye for now.